I feel like you guys already know what time it is when I'm sitting in front of this bookshelf in the TBR cart, but maybe you don't, maybe you're new, which in the case, I'm Angel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you made it and clicked on this video. We have a good time over here whenever I post. Try to be more consistent. Don't beat me up. I'm pretty inconsistent, but we're gonna get better. Anyways, as you can see by the title, I will be using this TBR jar to pick my April reads, which I cannot believe it's already April. March flew by. If you're wondering, I only read 3 books for my March TBR, so we might have some repeaters. But anyways, let's get into our first prompt. Okay, first prompt. A book you soft DNF'd. Which, if you don't know what that means, it's like a book that I did not finish because I wasn't in the mood for it, not because it was bad. I was in a reading slump, so I actually have a lot of options, but I know what I'm gonna pick. And that is Addicted to You. This book is about childhood best friends, Lily and Lo. They both have addictions. Lily is addicted to sex and Lo is addicted to alcohol. And they are fake dating each other so they can hide what goes on in their everyday lives. And they are also enabling each other. But yeah, I soft DNF'd this because I wasn't really in the mood. This book is pretty spicy and I feel like I have to be in a mood to read a lot of spice. But it wasn't like a bad book, so I'm gonna give this another chance. First book on the TBR, Addicted to You. Moving on. Okay, so we have a duology. I have a few options for this one. Okay, first option, I have Dance of Thieves. This is a YA fantasy. This comes after like the Remnant Chronicles, which I really don't plan on reading if I do decide to read this, so that's fine. It says a legendary street thief, a son destined to lead, thrust into sudden power. This is kind of giving Powerless, low-key, bringing them intimately together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. Option number 1. Option number 2 is Haunting Adeline. I've been holding off on this because this is a dark romance and I hear like it's really dark. So make sure you check the trigger warnings before. There is a lot. I've heard like this is a stalker romance. I don't know how that is supposed to work or whatever, but some people really love this duology, so, but I'm kind of scared. And then I have One Dark Window. This has been really popular, especially on TikTok. I think this is a gothic fantasy, but I think there's romance in there as well. But I know that the main character has like a sickness. The romantic interest is like in her head or something. Heard great things about this book, but that does kind of scare me off because like, what if I don't like it? But this is less than 400 pages, and this is 500 pages. Okay, I think I'll probably be interested in the shorter book. Not really into the chunkers right now, so second book on the TBR. A 3-word title. I'm kind of in a thriller mood, like literally all these books are thrillers. The Silent Patient. So many people love this book, but I've heard that it starts off slow, so that's kind of scaring me off. But they said the plot twist is phenomenal. And it's about this woman, Alicia. She kills her husband and then she doesn't say a word since she killed him. So the criminal psychotherapist, he's trying to make her speak and tell the story and get all that tea. Sounds good. We have The Perfect Marriage. This is on my March TBR, but I did not get to it. About this low down dirty husband. He has a mistress. The mistress ends up dead. They think that the husband did it, and his wife is the only hope for clearing his name. But if it was me, I'd let him go to jail. But it's just me. And then we have Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I've heard that she is an incredible thriller author, and I haven't read any of her books. It says 10 years of marriage, 10 years of secret, and an anniversary they will never forget. Think you know the person you married, think again, which is giving me Who the Fuck Did I Marry vibes. If you've seen the TikToks, that's what it's giving. And then we have Local Woman Missing. It's about this girl that goes missing and then she shockingly returns and everyone wants to know what happened. But it says no one is prepared for what they'll find, and some people will stop at nothing to keep the truth buried. I heard really great things about this too. I heard great things about all these books. That's why I got them, but I still make that a point to say it. I don't know. Which one? I might have to do a little thriller vlog because I am feeling a thriller right now. But I think I'm going to choose Rock, Paper, Scissors. This is the newest book on my TBR, so clearly I was excited to get it and read it. So third book on our TBR. A book with a white background. One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. And this cover is literally so stunning. And this is my first time reading a book by Olivia Blake, and I've heard great things. I hear that her writing is so beautiful, so I'm excited to read this. I do think this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, which I really don't like Romeo and Juliet, but whatever. It's a modern fantasy, I believe. It's about rival witch families in New York, which sounds pretty interesting. Fourth book on the TBR. Brief intermission. I need a beverage. Having a fun bevy just makes everything better. Like, takes place in another country. I already know what book I'm gonna pick for this. Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. It wasn't my March TBR, but I've been putting this off because Magnolia Park's A Long Way Home just made me so sad, and I just needed a break. And I'm low-key trying to hold off so I can save these books because I don't want to be done with the Magnolia Parks universe. It's time. I miss these characters. I need to be back in this world. A book that starts with the first letter of the month. So since we're going into April, it'll be an A, which I don't have many actually. Okay, so I have Almost There, A Twisted Tale. It's about Princess Tiana, my favorite princess. And it says, what if Tiana made a deal that changed everything? And I just feel like that sounds so interesting. I love fairy tale retellings and reimaginings. And then I have Assistant to the Villain. And this book is about exactly what it says. Girl, Evie, she needed a job. The villain was hiring. Sis went to go get her a job. And you would do it too for a check. Okay. And then I think this is actually a rom-com. Like, she's gonna fall in love with the villain. It says now Evie must not only resist drooling over her boss, but also figure out exactly who is sabotaging his work. And he ensures to make them pay. So maybe it's like a dark rom-com. I don't know. This sounds interesting. This sounds like a good time. I think I'm going to choose Assistant to the Villain as the 6th book on our TBR. Sorry if the angle changed. I had to clear out some storage. Moving on. This is just always so fun. A cozy read. Let's see what I can find. Okay, so like the only cozy book that I can think of, House in the Cerulean Sea. This is like a cozy fantasy. I believe this is a cozy fantasy. At least that's what I've heard. But a lot of people have said this book makes them cry. And lately I've been wanting books that put me in my feelings. So I'm hoping to really enjoy this. B.E. Schwab said I loved it. It is like being wrapped up in a big gay blanket. Simply perfect. And that alone just makes me want to read it even more. 7th book on the TBR. For this prompt, we have start a new series, which I'm already in the middle of like so many, but I digress. So I chose 3 options. I have Throne of Glass. I've been wanting to start this series, but I don't know if I want to start with Assassin's Blade or Throne of Glass. Right now, this is the only book that I have. If I want to start it, I want to have Assassin's Blade as well because I don't know where I want to start. I hear so many different opinions. I wish it wasn't a thing on which book to start from. I have Renegades. I've heard so much about this series. Clearly not enough if I have to read the synopsis, but okay, I think this is about superheroes, the Renegades, and Nova. I think she's gonna pretend to be one when really she's like a villain. Or it says Nova has a reason to hate the Renegades and she is on a mission for vengeance. As she gets closer to her target, she meets Adrian, a renegade boy who believes in justice, but Nova's allegiance is to a villain who has the power to end them both. Sounds good, but she's a thick girl. But I've never read a book about superheroes, so sounds interesting. It'll be different. And then option number 3, I've had this on my TBR a couple times, A Curious Beginning, a Veronica Speedwell mystery. This is a mystery fiction. Katie is reading, loves this series, and I've just been wanting to hop into it, but every time it's on my TBR, I don't read it. But you know what? It sounds good. It seems like a fun time. I think I'll choose Renegades, and if I want to read the others, I can always just do that. Okay, this is not set in stone. It's not that big of a deal, but I always make it a big of a deal. And I usually keep it at 8, but I want to pick another one for funsies. And it doesn't hurt to have options. An author never read. I feel like I'm running out of books here. Maybe I need to buy more? You know what, Miss Girl is going on the TBR. Hey, I don't make the, well, I do make the rules. I make the rules, and she's coming with me. You know, this might just be my comfort book on my TBR. Like, okay, let's do a quick wrap up. For a book that you soft DNF, I chose Addicted to You. For a duology, I chose One Dark Window. For a book with a 3-word title, I chose A Rock, Paper, Scissors. For a book with a white background, I chose One for My Enemy. For a book set in a different country, I chose Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. For the book that starts with the first letter of the month, I chose Assistant to the Villain. For a cozy read, I chose The House in the Cerulean Sea. The book I chose to start a new series with is Renegades. The book I chose for an author I never read, I chose A Curious Beginning, a Veronica Sweetwell mystery. Yet again. Fight me. Fight me, okay? Fight me. But okay, that about wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have made it up to this point, comment down below this emoji, just because I like to see you watch my videos all the way through. And it's kind of like an inside joke that only the besties know. So leave that down below so I know who my besties are. And now for the part that's always the struggle. We're gonna try to take this thumbnail. Let me take a sip of my drink. I just love Dr. Pepper. It just does something to me, like, give me the strength. Literally, because these books are heavy for no reason. Boy. Why is it so slippery? I'm having a hard time. Okay. We're done. Such a workout. Who needs to go to the gym when you lift books?